ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ audible ଆଉ visible ଅଛି screen ଟା ମୋର?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So shall we proceed? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
So today, as I have said, our concept is about conformity and deviance given by Robert K. Merton. And through this concept of conformity and deviance, we'll understand how strain is created in the society. Society रे strain केमती strain theory टा जो हमर Merton रो अछि हमें सेटा बुझबार चेष्टा करबो. तो फर्स्ट होचे conformity. Conformity से वर्ड रो ही जणा पडुची किछि जिंस को कंफर्म करबाटा. तो ई जगह रे काना हबा conformation to social norms and expectation. सबु सोसाइटी रे केतेडा नॉर्म्स वैल्यूज रहउची हमर इंडियन सोसाइटी रे केतेडा नॉर्म्स वैल्यूज रहउची वेस्टर्न सोसाइटी रे नॉर्म्स वैल्यूज रहउची सोसाइटी रे हमें एक्सेप्टेबल हेबार लगी हमें से नॉर्म्स वैल्यूज के कंफर्म करबा दरकार फॉर एग्जांपल एबा हमर इंडियन सोसाइटी रे हला एटा यूजुअली रहे कि तमे गोटे 10th 12th रे भल स्कोर करो ग्रेजुएशन पीजी कंप्लीट करो तापरे गोटे भल केने गोटे जॉब करी कि ना तमे मैरिज करी ना सेटल हो जा फॉर मेल्स बाय 30 फॉर फीमेल्स बाय 25 if you are not able to do that what you are called you are known as deviant right so deviance is the non conforming or deviating from the accepted path deviant in one society may be normal in other society so deviant hochi kono opposite to the concept of conformity तमे norms और values जो society रो अछि जदि सेटा को accept न करूचो that means what you are deviant मते की example देई पारिबो deviant रो
Yes, ma'am. Traffic rule break करिवा गोटे हेई परिबो कि
yes it can be आउ sociologically किछि example देई पारिबो जेंति मु कहली हमर इंडियन सोसाइटी रे रहउची
हेलो
मैरिज हां यस
एका कास्ट रे मैरिज करियाटा हला हमर सोसाइटी मोस्टली माने प्रमोट करे किंतु सेही जिंसटा हमें जदी इंटरकास्ट मैरिज करले मे बी सोसाइटी पय हमें डेविएंस हेबा
ओके इंडियन सोसाइटी रे सेटा गुटे हिसाब रे हमें डेविएंस गुटे शो करूचो
कोही पारे
करेक्ट करेक्ट आउ किछि
मैम ड्रग एडिक्शन
करेक्ट एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट ड्रग एडिक्शन अल्कोहल अब्यूज ई सब जिंस को हमें सोसाइटी रे बहुत डाउन वे रे देखा जाए राइट तो जो ड्रग अब्यूज माने अछंती या फिर स्मगलर्स इमन को हमें डेविएंट हिसाब रे ट्रीट करू गुटे सोसाइटी रे वेरी गुड नाउ डेविएंस इन वन सोसाइटी मे बी नॉर्मल इन अदर सोसाइटीज ई जिंस रो कोन बुझुचो
मैम जेमती कि डाइवोर्स हम इंडिया रे बहुत डेविएंट ये रे देखा जाए बट इट इज कंप्लीटली ओके इन द वेस्टर्न सोसाइटी
डाइवर्स माने
मैम डाइवोर्स माने डिवोर्स जो हुए माने जो हमारे
डाइवोर्स
हाँ
डाइवोर्स ओके डाइवर्स both it is not really acceptable in Indian society but it is very casual thing in the western societies but something more usual टिके आउ टिके यूजुअल लेमन एग्जांपल टे किछ देई पारिबो जदी
एलजीबीटीक्यू
मैम अल्कोहल मैम जो कंजम्पशन ऑफ अल्कोहल इन वेस्टर्न सोसाइटी इज ओके एंड इन इस्लामिक सोसाइटीज इट इज हराम so like it can be example
yes absolutely correct it is a perfect example ठीक अछि ना कि इस्लाम सोसाइटी रे अल्कोहलिज्म को बिल्कुल प्रमोट करा जायनी बट इन ताको सेलिब्रेशंस हला किछि इवेंट्स हला अल्कोहल इज अ मेन पार्ट ऑफ देयर सेलिब्रेशन यस और नो
मैम बी फिटिंग हे परियो कि
कोन
बी फिटिंग हमर जो माने हिंदू माने जोटा ये करंतनी बट मुस्लिम माने सेटा खानते
यस करेक्ट हेटा भी हम फूड कल्चर रे हो कि हम ड्रेसिंग कल्चर रे हो कि हम लाइफस्टाइल रे हो फॉर एग्जांपल इन मोस्ट एशियन कंट्रीज चप्पल जोटा कि घर भीतर को अलाउ करंती नहीं किंतु वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज रे इट इज ऑल राइट इफ यू वेयर शूज इनसाइड योर होम yes or no so from this it is clear I think that deviance, the concept of deviance, what is deviance in one society may vary in another society. Okay, now Merton views through this concept of deviance, there is another thing that comes out is anomy. Anomy concept suni thibo, Durkheim bhi deythile anomy ro concept. Janicho ki?
Yes, ma'am.
Anomy?
Yes, ma'am.
Durkheim anomy bisare kono kahithile?
State of normlessness. Beauty के पूरा
Anomy
chaos.
ta hochi state of nonlessness, but se anomy ta kemti create hochi? Durkheim ta kono kahithile? Se society re se anomy ta kemti create hochi?
मैम जेबे
Government
सोसाइटी
solidarity.
रेगुलेशन माने कम आसीथिबो सेई टाइम रे इकोनॉमिक क्रिएट होची
Okay, partly correct. Partly correct. So Durkheim basically kahanti anomy hochi result of social disorganization. Yes or no? And Durkheim solidarity bisare, solidarity ro concept bisare kahanti. तो जेतले social disorganization ही जाए या फिर जंतिया कि गोटे कहले रेगुलेशन कथा लैक ऑफ मोरल रेगुलेशन ही जाए तो सोसाइटी रे स्टेट ऑफ एनोमिटा क्रिएट होची.
हेलो मैम.
करेक्ट. हां
मैम गोटे क्वेश्चन थिला.
हां
हाँ आपन कहले जे जो माने सोसाइटी जो माने ड्रिंक्स पर्सन से माने ओजन डेविएशन ताको कह जीवो. किंतु जदि जो माने आर्मी रो धर ऑफिसर माने कि आर्मी रो सोल्जर माने जो जी ड्रिंक्स करंती से माने कोन डेविएशन कह जीवो.
सेटा तो कांसेप्ट कहली से जिंसटा मु कहली डेविएंस गुटे कम्युनिटी या गुटे सोसाइटी रे जदि गुटे जिंस डेविएंस कहा जाउची सेटा हुए तो आ गुटे कम्युनिटी रे कंसीडर न करा जाउथबो. The concept of deviance is subjective. It varies from society to society. Got it? You cannot generalize that this is deviance and it will be universal in everywhere. Got it? Clear? Clear है लगी?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
तो Durkheim कहले social disorganization और lack of moral regulation लगी anomy होची. से जगह रे Merton कहले anomy happens because of a situation in where there is discrepancy between culturally defined goals and structural means available to achieve them. तो conformity रे हमें जानू कि सोसाइटी रे केतेटा नॉर्म्स वैल्यूज थिसी. सोसाइटी गोटे सेट ऑफ गोल्स देथिसी जेंटा कि हम मन के कंफर्म करबार थिसी या फिर अचीव करबार थिसी. आउ से गोल्स अचीव करबा लगी केतेटा मींस थिसी, केतेटा माध्यम थ्रू तमे अचीव करि पारबो है कि नहीं. एबे तमे फॉर एग्जांपल टीचर हेबा के चाहूछो ता लागि तमके काना दरकार, भल एजुकेशन दरकार, भल डिग्री दरकार, तापरे जाके ना तमे हे पारबो. बट से अपॉर्चुनिटी ता तमके नहीं मिलबार, तमके एजुकेशन ही एवेल करबा के नहीं मिलबार. से जन डिस्क्रिपेंसी टा रोजी डिस्क्रिपेंसी ई थ्रू एनोमी क्रिएट हेसी सोसाइटी रे. बुझलो?
आज्ञा मैम.
So the strain तो इने काना होचे तमर सोसाइटी रो गोल्स प्लस lack of legitimate means. Okay, legitimate because देखो एबे तुमको यूजुअली सोसाइटी रे हमें काना एटा कोसो गुड जॉब भल जॉब एटा करबाटा वेल्थ कमेबाटा हेटा गोटे भल पर्सपेक्टिव रे देखा जैसी. बट तुमके वेल्थ कमेबार अच्छे तमे स्मगलरी किना भी कमे पारबो है कि नहीं. तमे टैक्स इवेजन करी किना भी करि पारबो. बट यू शुड हैव a legitimate means to achieve that goals, and if it is not there it causes anomy, and this is all about the strain theory. It causes strain in the society jenta ave ame podma strain theory kana. So tar agru before going to strain theory let us understand the various type of deviation. First which is cultural and psychological deviation. In cultural deviation, one part from the norms of a culture, while the psychological deviation means from the norms in personality organization. For example, psychotic or neurotic deviation. Psychopath विषय जानो थी पता मैं है कि नहीं? हेलो
Yes,
हेलो
ma'am.
हाँ तो एबे साइकोपाथ विषय जानो थी तो साइकोपाथ माने काना they are considered deviant in the society. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
They go against the norms of the society. They will abruptly commit murder, or they will destroy property, or they will destroy individual life. They will harm people. So it can be called as psychological deviation. Next is individual and group deviation. The person deviates from the norms of subculture. For example, a boy belonging to an educated and respected family takes drugs and becomes a school dropout. Or unlawful activities रे जदि तमे किछि इन्वॉल्व रहुछ सेटा भी गोटे डेविएशन रहुछ तापर प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी डेविएशन एटा फॉर एग्जांपल होछि तमे डेविएंट होछ बट इट इज नॉट समथिंग very intense. For example, if you are going to buy vegetables, it is usually what you have to pay for your purchase, but tome kono kalo se jaga re tome for example 1 kg tomato kinlo tome kinlo 2 kg potato आ ता उपरु तमे कहलो कि मते धनिया फ्री रे दे दियो एटा डेविएंस कंसीडर करा जिवो जेहेतु there is a rule if you are buying something you have to pay, but you are getting that dhania or you are getting that chili freely. That is a kind of deviance, but it is not that intense. Got it? Now next hame janba ki strain theory ta kemiti asithila. So strain theory was first developed by Robert Merton in the 1940s to explain the rising crime rates experienced in the USA at that time. Strain theory has become popular with contemporary sociologists. Merton argued that the cultural system of USA was built on the American dream, a set of meritocratic principles which assured the American public that equality of opportunity was available to all regardless of class, gender, or ethnicity. So, the concept of strain theory was originated from this American dream. So, what is this American dream? In American dream, it was preached, it was told that your main objective of life is to gain wealth, is to gain materialistic possession, wealth and materialistic possession. It should be your aim of the life. आउ से जिनसटा को तमे अचीव करिबा पई वेरियस मीडियम यूज करि पारो लेजिटिमेट मीन्स. So the American dream encouraged individuals to pursue a goal of success, which was largely measured in terms of acquisition of wealth and material possession. It is also seen in Indian society as well or not. Your value is measured with how high paying job you are, what is your income, or how much property you have acquired. Yes or no? So people were
Yes, ma'am.
expected, correct. People were expected to pursue this goal through legitimate means. Again, the means should always be legitimate. It should not be illegitimate. Through illegitimate means you can easily do that, but you should do it in a very legitimate ways, such as through education and work. The dominant cultural message was if you are ambitious, talented, and if you are hardworking, then income and wealth should be your rewards. So, एतकी जाए किसी डाउट अछि काहकु?
No, ma'am.
American dream concept बुझा पड़ला?
Yes, ma'am.
So, whatever this American dream is trying to say, we can see the similar thing in Indian society as well. We are asked for gaining material possessions. We are asked for gaining high status in the society. And through hard work, through education, we are trying to achieve it. यस और नो तो एथिपाई देखुथुबो तुमको बारंबार कहा जाए कंसिस्टेंसी रखो हार्ड वर्किंग हो तापरे तुमको रिवॉर्ड्स मिलिबो बुझिलो तो से जिनसटा से कांसेप्टटा
हेलो मैम
इंस्पायर कला यस
हाँ ये समय आउटसाइड रिपीट करंतु टिके देखु जे अमेरिकन ड्रीम्स टा
अच्छा अमेरिकन ड्रीम टा जो कांसेप्ट यूजुअली यूएसए रे एटा परपेचुएट हुए ओरिजिन टा हेथिला जोड़ा तमे एबे इंडियन सोसाइटी रे भी सिमिलर जिनसटा तुमको देखिबा को मिलुथबो एठी कोन कहूची अमेरिकन ड्रीम कि इंडिविजुअल्स मन को एनकरेज करा जाउथला कि तमर मेन एम होची लाइफ रे तमे सक्सेस तेबे गेन करि पारछो तेबे ही पारुछो जेबे तमे मटेरियल एक्विजिशन करि पारछो या मटेरियल वेल्थ गेन करि पारछो जेबे तमे इनकम बेसी करूछो तम पाके प्रॉपर्टी बेसी रहूची तेबे जाई तमे सक्सेसफुल if you have a big bungalow if you have luxury car if you have a luxury lifestyle then you are called as successful and how you are able to achieve that it is said through American dream you can achieve this goal through hard work and education through legitimate means not illegitimate legitimate means and your legitimate means are education and work hard work and your talent and hard work if you are talented if you are hardworking then your rewards are high income and wealth acquisition got it
yes ma'am
okay
मैम बट एटी अलग लिखा है कि माने एटी सब लोग को मेरिटोक्रेसी रे तांको दिया जिवो इरेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ देयर माने अपॉर्चुनिटी तांको प्रोवाइड करो इरेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द क्लास और जेंडर और एथनिसिटी लिखा है
exactly सही जिनसटा मु कहली तमे किसी भी क्लास रो बिलोंग करथो लो क्लास हो हाई क्लास हो तमे फीमेल हो मेल हो तमर एथनिसिटी जहां भी हो तुमको सोसाइटी रे अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया गला तमर गोल होची सोसाइटी रो गोल तुमको गोल दोची तुमको कि तमे मटेरियल गेन वेल्थ करो माने मटेरियल वेल्थ गेन करो आ सेटा केंती करिवो थ्रू लेजिटिमेट मींस थ्रू एजुकेशन हला बुझी पारलो
यस मैम
irrespective of your class gender whatever whichever class you belong to that doesn't matter society is giving you a goal that is acquisition of wealth and the means of achieving that goal which is legitimate means education and hard work got it now Merton has developed this theory from crime statistics using inductive reasoning he examined crime statistics by class found out that people from lower socioeconomic classes were more likely to commit crimes that involve accusations, stealing in one from another. Merton developed this strain theory to explain this. So strain theory re कौन होची Merton जो मु initially कहली तुमको society रो goals और जेतले achieve करिबा पाई the means of opportunity legitimate means of opportunity lack करूची सेतेले गुडे strain create होची society रे which Merton called it as strain theory. तो Merton सेटा एनालाइज कले मोस्टली strain टा कोस टाइप रो सोसाइटी माने को ग्रुप रे देखा जाउथिला जोठी क्राइम बेसी हुए फॉर एग्जांपल स्लम्स धारावी हो कि जो भी प्रकार स्लम्स एरिया हला मोस्टली क्रिमिनल्स that is this usual thing that mostly criminals come from the slums area why there is poverty there is lack of opportunities there is lack of proper education literacy is very less there is lack of basic amenities तो जो lack of opportunities केमिति होची because of lack of education your lack of basic amenities food shelters हला तो तमरो गोटे legitimate means हे पारुनी जो गोल अछि तमर अचीव करिबा पई गोटे बेटर लाइफस्टाइल अचीव करिबा पई हला या फिर वेल्थ एक्यूज माने एक्विजिशन करिबा पई तो से जगह रे कोन करिवो तमे देखुचो तम लेजिटिमेट मींस तमे करि पारुनो थ्रू लेजिटिमेट मींस यू विल गो इन अ डेविएंट वे तमे कोन करिवो वेल्थ पाइबार लागि चोरी करिवो तमे थेफ्ट रे इन्वॉल्व हबो रॉबरी रे इन्वॉल्व हबो तो
मैम
से जिनसटा
जस्ट सेकंड मैम एटी एक्चुअली सूर्य मेसेज करथिले तो टिके चार्ट बॉक्स उडे टिके आपण देखिबे से लिखि चंदी जे बुझी हेलानी कोन उडे आपण टिके पचार देबे सूर्य को कोटा
ओके ओके हाँ सूर्य कहंतु कोडा बुझेलानी
बोधे से तांकर माइक प्रॉब्लम किछि अछि सो से टाइप करके चार्ट रे बोधे लिखु चंदी
अच्छा टाइप कर दियो सुनो अमेरिकन पार्ट ओके तो अमेरिकन पार्ट रे देखो किछि नहीं सेठी से जिंसो कहा होची रिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ योर क्लास एथनिसिटी जेंडर अमेरिकन सोसाइटी रे इटा कहा गला कि तमे जो भी कास्ट रो बिलोंग क्लास रो बिलोंग करो एथनिसिटी रो बिलोंग करो जेंडर रे बिलोंग करो तुमको सोसाइटी रे अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया जिवो से अपॉर्चुनिटी थ्रू रु तमे कोन करबो तमर मेन एम होची एक्विजिशन ऑफ वेल्थ एबे से समान जिनसटा हमर इंडियन सोसाइटी रे भी होची कि नै तुमको केमती हिसाब रे मेजर करा जाय तमर सक्सेस ता तमर इनकम केतकी रहला जेतकी तमे हाई इनकम रहबो सेतकी तमर वैल्यू रहबो तम सोसाइटी रे तुमको सेतकी वैल्यू करिवे सोसाइटी रे जेतकी हाई पोजीशन रे रहबो सेतकी तम वैल्यू हेबो जेतकी तमर प्रॉपर्टी जेतकी तम वेल्थ इट विल बी योर मेजर ऑफ योर सक्सेस correct you will be successful only when you are able to gain material possession and how you will gain it through legitimate means which is your education and hard work I hope it is clear Surya okay fine तो मर्टन से जिनसटा हमें मु जोटा कहउथली एबे कि स्ट्रेन जोटा तमे देखिबो स्ट्रेन थ्योरीटा यूजुअली ओरिजिनेट हला तमरो से देखिले क्राइम स्टैटिस्टिक को एनालाइज करिले आ से जानिले कि जोटी पॉवर्टी बेसी रहउची जो जागा रे जोटी अपॉर्चुनिटीज कम मिलुची से जागा रे स्ट्रेन बेसी क्रिएट होची लेजिटिमेट मींस ऑफ अचीविंग गोल्स मिलुनी तो से माने इलेजिटिमेट मींस यूज करूचंती थेफ्ट हला स्मगलिंग हला से सब पाथ यूज करिगी से माने तांको गोलटा अचीव करबा पई चेष्टा करचंती तो ई स्ट्रेन जोटा क्रिएट हला सोसाइटी रे सोसाइटी रो रेस्पॉन्स रे थिबो सोसाइटी वेरियस वे रे सेटा रेस्पॉन्स कला जोटा मर्टन ए पांचटा वे रे डिवाइड करिसंती बुझिजो according to strain theory a person can resort to 5 types of adaptive responses with regard to the relation between the cultural goals and available structural means तो सोसाइटी टे तुमको गोल्स देला तुम्हें नॉर्म्स वैल्यू सब एटा करबो एटा तुम गोल्स रहला सब सोसाइटी वाइज इट डिफर्स ओके द गोल इन वन सोसाइटी में डिफर इन अनदर सोसाइटी ओके सो तुमको गोल्स देला तुमको स्ट्रक्चरल मींस केमति से अचीव करबो सेटा देला तबरे तुमे देखिलो ड्यू टू लैक ऑफ दिस अपॉर्चुनिटीज strain is created in the society now there are 5 types of adaptive responses through which this strain is managed so first is conformity conformity the word itself says that you are accepting the goals and the means ये टेबल टा बहुत important ये टेबल थ्रू रू अपन माने बहुत इजीली मने रखि पारिबे ये जो एडाप्टेशन प्रोसेस टा जो 5 टाइप्स ऑफ एडाप्टेशन रिस्पांसेस टा देछि कंफर्मिटी इनोवेशन रिचुअलिज्म रिट्रीटिज्म एंड रिबेलियन बुझिले तो कंफर्मिटी रे कोन होछि एक्सेप्टिंग द बोथ तमे जो सोसाइटी रो गोल्स अछि सेटा भी अचीव करूचो आउ केमती अचीव करूचो जो प्रेस्क्राइब मींस टा दोची फॉर एग्जांपल एबे नेगोलो अमेरिकन ड्रीम, अमेरिकन सोसाइटी, अमेरिकन ड्रीम रो अमेरिकन सोसाइटी कौन दिया कहा गला कि तुमको सक्सेसफुल हेबा पई वेल्थ आ हाई इनकम दरकार तुम सेटा केमती करिवो एजुकेशन थ्रू तुमर एठी तो ताहले एठी कोन हला तुमर लेजिटिमेट तुमर गोल्स टा होची सोसाइटी टा गोल्स होची हाई इनकम और तुमर मीन्स हला एजुकेशन लेजिटिमेट मीन्स तो सेटा को तमे एक्वायर करिबा पई अचीव करिबा पई जेतेबेले लेजिटिमेट मीन्स यूज करूचो और सोसाइटी रो गोल्स को तमे एक्सेप्ट करिलो देन यू आर ए कन्फॉर्मिस्ट. For example, a student studies hard and secures a respectable job. Example ta एडा ही पारबो easy example. आउ किछ example तमने के दे पारिबो आउ किछ example conformist रो
गोटे फार्मर फार्मिंग करिके तापरे ता लगी पैसा कमबो.
Okay, he is working hard, he is earning money through legitimate means. Correct. So he is a conformist here. Got it? Next is innovation. Innovation हला जेबे तमे सोसाइटी रो गोल्स तो एक्सेप्ट करूचो किंतु तारो लेजिटिमेट मीन्स जोड़ा से सोसाइटी टा कहूची तमे सेटा अप्लाई करूनो से गोल्स को अचीव करिवा पई. फॉर एग्जांपल मु एठी नेली कार्ल मार्क्स टैब्लो एस्कोबार साइंटिस्ट केंती ही पारिवे से माने कार्ल मार्क्स जो थ्योरी देथिले कॉन्फ्लिक्ट थ्योरी he was way ahead of his time when he gave this theory. The society where he came from didn't accept it because they were not able to see what he is trying to say, what he is trying to project through his theory. But later on, in this present society, we are pretty much agreeing with what Karl Marx used to say about class struggle or maybe about the conflict between the bourgeois or the working class. Got it? आउ किछ एग्जांपल दे पारिबो एटी मु दे देछि ए हैकर हु ऑप्ट्स टू अर्न मनी बाय हैकिंग इनटू अदर अकाउंट्स एटा उटे हला से जेमति कि कोन मनी ता तो अर्न कला जोटा हमर मेन गोल ता होछि सोसाइटी रो किंतु तार मीन्स ता सोसाइटी द्वारा एक्सेप्टेबल नुह बुझिलो. नेक्स्ट होछि रिचुअलिज्म.
मैम
यस
एटी साइंटिस्ट केमते हो मैम से तो गोटे माने से तो भलो पाठ पढला ये करला तापरे से डेवलप करला ना साइंटिस्ट को हम केमती इनोवेशन रे पके परिया.
अच्छा देखो साइंटिस्ट केतेडा रिसर्च कले तांको थ्योरी टा कले हला जेंती कार्ल मार्क्स ता हम सोशियोलॉजिस्ट रे पढेले साइंटिस्ट माने किछिटे रिसर्च करूचंती किछिटे थ्योरी दोचंती जोटा प्रेजेंट डे सोसाइटी रे एक्सेप्ट न करूथिबे बट इन फ्यूचर इट मे बी एक्सेप्टेबल. Okay, for example,
मैम बट दे आर गोइंग विद द ये मींस ना राइट मींस सो तांके राइट मींस करचंते दे
मैम एग्जांपल इथरे ओपेनहाइमर हे परियो लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल मीन्स हला नॉट पीस वर्ल्ड पीस हला गोटे मीन्स बट सिंस ही डेवलप्ड द न्यूक्लियर वेपन इट वुड बी लाइक इनोवेशन फॉर फ्रॉम हिज एंड मैम.
yes, this is perfect example. देखो एठी जो मीन्स जो हला लेजिटिमेट मीन्स माने जरूरी नहीं कि हार्ड वर्क ही हला कि एजुकेशन ही हला अलगा मीन्स भी हे पारिबो बुझिलो तो सेडा डिफर करे सोसाइटी टू सोसाइटी मीन्स ता जो रहुची एबे सब बळे एजुकेशन और हार्ड वर्क देखनी से एजुकेशन और हार्ड वर्क थ्रू साइंटिस्ट तो हे गला किंतु साइंटिस्ट पर तार गुटे अलगा ऑब्जेक्टिव रहउची एज ए साइंटिस्ट हिज expectation from the society is different. Yes or no? The society is expecting it to work, the scientist to work for the welfare of the society, right? But at the same case, if a scientist comes out with a theory that they think is pretty much relevant in the present society, but the society won't accept it. से जगह रे कोन हो गला साइंटिस्ट तमरो सॉर्ट ऑफ डेविएंट हो गला बुझिलो नाउ ritualism individuals abandon the cultural goals but continue to adhere strictly to the legitimate means for example mo ethi nechi bureaucrats के कहि परिबो bureaucrats केंती गोल्स टा रिजेक्ट कर देबे सॉरी गोल्स टा रिजेक्ट करिवे किंतु मीन्स टा एक्सेप्ट करूचंती ब्यूरोक्रेट्स रो एग्जांपल एठी केंती आसला
मैम प्री डिफाइंड रूल्स जहाँ तांकर कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट था सेगुडा को से माने फॉलो करंती से जोगु बोधे
हां पार्टली करेक्ट आपको ठीक कहउछ आपको ठीक कह आ कोन होबता कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस टा कोन होची
लाइक सम केसेस रे से मान को डिसीजन भी नेटा नेबा पे पड़े जेटा कि एक्सेप्टेबल नता फॉर एग्जांपल केटी कम्युनल वायलेंस हे गेला कि मॉब लिंचिंग हे गेला तो सेठी से माने जहाँ तांकर रूल्स प्रिस्क्राइब थिबो दे वुड एक्ट अकॉर्डिंग टू इट
करेक्ट करेक्ट so bureaucrats the main work of bureaucrat is to work for the welfare of the society maintain the peace maintain the balance etc तमे गोटे कांसेप्ट जानी छ कि रेड टेपिज्म
यस मैम
रेड टेपिज्म ता कोन
मैम डिले माने गोटे तांकर थाई कि डिले हुए लाइक फाइल्स पेंडिंग हेई का पड़ी जाए जो लेथार्जी सिटी थाए तांकर सेटा के हमें रेड टेपिज्म को
absolutely correct tedious procedure tedious paperwork very relevant in our Indian system yes or no do you agree or not yes or no to do to open a business you have to at least go through 60 different types of documentation it becomes very tedious it slows down the process it slows down the efficiency of the bureaucratic system or the administrative system so in this way what is happening they are although they are conforming to the rules they are conforming to the code and conduct they are accepting the means but they are rejecting the goal as in they are not able to serve the people efficiently they are not able to serve the welfare of the people सेही जोगु देखुथिबो बहुत जे लोको वेरियस स्कीम्स बाहरुची किंतु बहुत जे लोको कोन होजंती से माने बेनिफिट पाउ नाहंती काहे की डेट उपरे डेट देकी जो आज आस काली आस करिके तुमको कहा जिवो आ से थ्रू कोन होची तुम डिलेट हो जाउची से माने बेनिफिट जोटा इजीली पाई परिबे से माने पाई पार नाहंती से मन को अपलिफ्टमेंट ही पानु अंको एम्पावरमेंट ही पानु which is against the goals of the society right so here ritualism the concept of ritualism comes into play next one is retreatism retreatism means individuals reject both the cultural goals and the institutionalized means often withdrawing from the social expectation alcoholic drug addicts etc तो तमे ए जगह रे कोन करछो गोल्स भी रिजेक्ट कर दोछो मींस भी रिजेक्ट कर दोछो then you are a retreat now how it is different from rebellion ने कोन होची individuals reject both the cultural goals and the means substituting new goals and new means example terrorists naxalites hedonists etc so in retreatism you are going against society you are becoming deviant but you are not becoming a rebel why in rebel you are replacing them the ideologies the interest of naxalites or terrorists are completely different than that of what society wants to establish for example IS हला कि किसी भी ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ particular religion को establish କରିବା को चाहउचंती ना तांगर किछि भी hidden agenda रहला सर डिफर करूची किंतु सेटा सोसाइटी रो कांसेप्ट संगे किछि मैच करूनी यस और नो तो ए पर्यंत बुझा पड़ला
मैडम
revise it.
स्ट्रेंथ थ्योरी रो डेफिनेशन रे कोन कोन आउथरे
हेलो
हेलो आर यू गेटिंग माय वॉइस मैडम
अतिके
हेलो
करेक्ट करूची तुम वॉइस टा
हेलो
हेलो
मु मेसेज कर दउची नहले देखि दियंतु
हां हां मैसेज कर दियो so let's proceed तो डिफरेंट टाइप जेहेतु जानलो हमें थ्रू discrepancy
मैम एक्चुअली
discrepancy in what in earlier
मैम सुना जाउची ना मैम
हेलो
हाँ एक्चुअली दैट स्टूडेंट इज
हाँ, सर,
आस्किंग
सुना-
अबाउट that student is asking about the definition of strain theory basically.
okay definition of strain theory so definition if you want to write it down you can
हां
so
मैडम
strain theory was given by Robert K. Merton in 1930s. Strain theory was given by Robert K. Merton in 1930s, which proposes the pressure derived from social factors such as lack of opportunities that leads to deviance or deviant behavior in the society. Strain theory proposes the pressure derived from the social factors such as lack of opportunities that drives individuals to commit deviance or deviance behavior in the society. Clear? Clear ही वाला की? सोनालिका बिस्वाल.
यस मैडम आउ कोटे लाइन मैडम कहितले आपण सोसाइटी रो एक्सपेक्टेशन आउ कोन माने लेजिटिमेट मींस को से जेतेबेले फुलफिल करि पारे ना तार भितरे डिस्क्रिपेंसी जेतेबेले क्रिएट होय ताको को हजे कि स्ट्रेंथ से लाइन टा मो सेले ठीक से
That was basically Durkheim's idea of Merton's idea of anomy. एबे मो एठी देखै छी देखो स्लाइड ता दिसु छी ना स्क्रीन दिसु छी so he defines anomy as discrepancy between culturally defined goals and structural means available to them. तो जो anomy टा create हला through this discrepancy between the opportunities, lack of opportunities to achieve the goals that the society have set for you. This is causing a strain. It is causing strain in the society. And there are various adaptive mechanisms through which society responses that we have studied now, which is ritualism, retreatism, conformity, rebellion. Got it? Clear?
yes clear.
So conformity means you are accepting the goals, you are accepting the means. Innovation means you are accepting the goals, but you are rejecting the means. Ritualism means you're rejecting the goals and you're accepting the means. And retreatism means you're rejecting both goals and means. Whereas in rebellion, you are replacing them with something new, a very new concept in altogether. All right. So conformity, in general, mostly people are conformist in society. They usually abide by the goals and legitimate means that society has prescribed. And innovation, ritualism, retreatism, the various examples that we have discussed. Innovation रे कौन discuss कराइथिला? Example of innovation?
Scientist Karl Marx, Pablo Escobar.
No. Mostly the more knowledgeous person or the Renaissance, if you can tell. These people, Karl Marx, ritualism. Ritualism, for example,
Bureaucrats.
bureaucrats. And retreatism,
Drug addicts.
drug addicts. And your last one is your terrorist, Naxalites, etc. Got it? So I hope you understood what is strain theory and how the society responds to this strain caused due to the lack of opportunities to achieve the goals that society expects individuals or members of the societies to achieve. Any doubt?
मैम टिके कार्ल मार्क्स रो गोल्स और मींस टा कहि परिबे कि
Karl Marx ro eta innovation katha bolucho.
नहीं मैम मते गोल्स और मींस टा कहिबे कि कार्ल मार्क्स रो माने को जिंस को ताके एक्सेप्ट करतले और को मींस को ताके मना करले सेटा
Okay. See, one of the various goals of society गुटे तो हला तमर वेलफेयर एटा तो जानि लो आ गुटे होची नॉलेज एक्वायरिंग है कि नहीं you need to come out with theories concept that will enrich the knowledge of the people living in the society, which is why teachers are working, which is why researchers are working, which is why your scientists are working. So that is their goal, to enrich the knowledge of the society. But their means here is not going deviant or not accepting the ideologies that is prevalent in the society. For example, Karl Marx gave the concept of class struggle, conflict theory, which the society at that time did not really agree with. We are agreeing with it now, we are accepting it now. But at that time, this concept was not really acceptable. Yes or no? Because what if the concept of Karl Marx is accepted by the people, then it will lead to class consciousness. People will rise against this capitalist. So the capitalists never wanted to spread the ideology of Karl Marx in the society. So in that means, he is deviant. The means is deviant. The means of Karl Marx is deviant. I hope it is clear now. Anything else? Anything else?
No मैम
So एबे हमें जिबा criticism of his theory. Every theory has a criticism. तो Merton रो criticism कौन हो? एबे तमे concept भल से बुझी पारिबो. बुझलो? जेबे तमे criticize करलो गुटे concept को, that means you are able to understand what he is trying to say. difference in goals. Critics argue that Merton wrongly assumes that a single system of cultural goals is shared by the entire society. This is what I am trying to say from the very beginning. The cultural goals or the goals in general of one society may differ from that of the other society. In Indian society, it may be different. In Western society, it may be different. In Indian society, work, get married, have a family. In Western society, it is much more individualistic. Work hard, gain more wealth. It doesn't matter if you are marrying or not. It doesn't matter if you are divorced with your partner, but you have to be well established. You have to have good income. You have to have good wealth. So the cultural goals or the goals in general differs from society to society, and there is no single system. You cannot generalize one goal across societies. The goals are different for different people. Everyone does not aim for the same goals, right? In your family itself, your brother may have a different goal, you may have a different goal. Or as I said, in society in general, the goals may vary. The goal is never a particular or a singular kind of goal. Different responses. The critics point out that it has also failed to explain why some choose one response while others choose a different one. Different responses ru kon buझुछ एबे जणे कि दिल्ली रे रहुची तार गोल्स तार way of their availability of opportunities is very different from the person belonging to a tribal community. Yes or no? So there is obvious that there will be difference in the responses as well. The opportunities available to a person coming from a tribal community is very different from a person coming from a metropolitan area. Merton failed to address this. Merton failed to address this aspect of the society. Now, serious crime. Merton did not highlight the serious crime like rape, murder. He talked about deviance. He talked about petty crimes or theft or your drug abuse, but he did not told about rape or murder. Can you tell me in which kind of response rape and murder will go? Is it retreatism, ritualistic, rebellion, conformist, or what it is? Can you tell me? Rapist or murderer को कैटेगरी रे जीवो ए भितरे
मैम या भीतर कोउटर भी जीवनी
somewhat correct. आउ जदि देखिबा बेले रिबेलियन रे भी गुटे हिसाब रे जाई हेबो काहेकि ना जो रेपिस्ट या फिर गुटे मर्डरर जहा करूची सेटा सोसाइटी रे केबे हेई नथिला ना ताल पाई किछि मीन्स अछि ना ता पाई किछि गोल्स अछि. He is making a whole different new set of things for himself. So you can also categorize into rebellion. Debatable, right or not? So here it is evident that he although categorized the responses into these 5 different categories, but not all things, all phenomena that is happening in the society can be fit inside it as the concept of rape and murderer. It is debatable. It can go into rebellion or it may not be. Who knows? So here, the drawback of the theory comes into play. Now, society's reaction. Others critics argue that Merton's theory ignores the influence of society's reaction in the development of the deviance. How society is reacting to various aspects of deviance happening in the society. Merton did not really took the reaction of the society accountable. He just generalized the theory in his way. Now, in this regards, there is another concept known as differential association given by Sutherland. जो conformity deviance A theory ru somewhat relatable is the differential association. What is differential association? Why are some by Sutherland it says that why are some people attracted to deviant behavior while others are not? एबे तुम स्कूल टाइम रे तुम पीयर ग्रुप रे हो स्कूल टाइम रे हो कॉलेज टाइम रे हो तुम पीयर ग्रुप रे केते जण थिबे जे स्मोकिंग करूथबे ड्रिंकिंग करूथबे बट से जगह रे तमे से लाइन टाकू गलनी तमे चूज कलनी से स्मोकिंग ड्रिंकिंग यू चूज टू स्टडी यू चूज टू डेवलप योरसेल्फ why is that so?
Ma'am, different interpretation of
Different
means and
interpretation. The condition, the situation is subjective here. Maybe your upbringing is well, your parental control is good, your friends parental control may not be good, you are more aware about yourself, you are very responsible, which is why you're not conforming to this deviant behavior while your friends are doing it. So here is the concept of differential association. Another relative concept is labeling theory. Labeling theory simply means label. Label ta kon hochi? तमे का गोटे लेबल कर देलो किछि भी तमे देखिलो जणे के बेसी बाळ रखिछि टैटू करछि कोन एंती you declared him as a criminal, but chances are there he might not be a criminal, he may be a singer. For example, a very famous footballer David Beckham. Do you all know David Beckham?
Yes, ma'am.
जानी थिबो एबे आम सोसाइटी इन जनरल टैटू गोटे टैबू हिसाब रे निया जाय. It is not usually acceptable. It is they synonymously use tattoo as criminals or deviant people. But here David Beckham, he is not deviant. He is a renowned footballer. He is hardworking. He is famous. He has wealth. So here, this leveling theory is what it's trying to say. Leveling theory looks specifically at the consequences of labeling a person as deviant by his or her outlook. You label someone as deviant, you judge someone, you prejudice someone as deviant. First, it directs attention to the fact that social deviance as defined by the social norm is relative. And secondly, the role of those involved in labeling a person as deviant is itself an independent variable in creating or leading deviance. So, independent variable as in my mother, if he would see David Beckham, he may call him some type of obnoxious person. But if I'll look at him, I'll say he's a role model, or he's a good player, or he's a renowned person. So there is a subjective differentiation in our perception about a person, if they are deviant or not. It may differ from person to person. It may differ from society to society. Got it?
yes, ma'am.
तो एमती मते किछि आउ एग्जांपल दे पारिबो लेवलिंग थ्योरी रो मो जहा कहली डिफरेंस इन ओपिनियन डिफरेंस इन जजमेंट तारो किछि एग्जांपल दे पारिबो?
मैम जदि गोटे लोक को आमे रातिरे देखिबा त आमे कोन कहबा एटा गोटे एंटी सोशल एलिमेंट, बट जदि आमे ताको ठीक से देखिया जणा पड़ी भी पारे से गोटे सिक्योरिटी गार्ड हेई पारे जे कि रातिरे ड्यूटी करछि.
गुड, सेटा गोटे एग्जांपल हला तमे इंस्टेंटली जज कर देलो कि गोटे चोर होइथिबो ना कोन एंती सस्पिशियस पर्सन हिसाबे, बट तापर जणा पड़ला ही इज अ सिक्योरिटी गार्ड. So this is called as labeling theory. Now labels are also known as self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy concept ta पढिथिबो बके मर्टन जेहेतु पढिचो. Self-fulfilling prophecy कहि पारिबो कोन? Anyone? What is self-fulfilling prophecy? एठी पिक्चर टा जो देखु जो बे स्क्रीन रे अछि So बहुत बढ़िया से self fulfilling prophecy टा explain करिए. Have you read self fulfilling prophecy or not?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm giving you a brief definition. A self-fulfilling prophecy is basically a belief or expectation that influence individuals to act in a way that make the belief come true. एबे गुटे सानो छुआ को देखुच ताकू सब बेले आमे कोन करछु बड़ हेले भलो पाठ पढिबो भलो पाठ पढिबो भलो पाठ पढिबो कहबो बोले से भलो पाठ पढिबो ताकू नाइ से बदमाश पिला कहबो से बदमाश हिजबो माने कोन सोसाइटी टा रिपीटेडली ताकू एम्ति इन्फ्लुएंस करि दला कि तार बिहेवियर अकॉर्डिंगली चेंज हो जाउची मैनिफेस्टेशन टा गोटे सुनिथिबो कांसेप्ट ऑफ मैनिफेस्टेशन नॉट रिलेटेड टू योर सब्जेक्ट एबे तमे जहां भी किछि भी गोल्स रखुचो तमे गोटे ऑफिसर हेबा को चाहूचो तमे मैनिफेस्ट करूचो कि मोड ऑफिसर हेली मोडे बड़ पोजीशन रे रहली मो सोसाइटी लाइक काम करूची मो वेलफेयर करूची सोसाइटी रो जो डिप्राइव्ड लोक रहले तांको अपलिफ्टमेंट करूची तमे गोटे मैनिफेस्ट करूचो तम आख पाख तम फ्रेंड्स तम टीचर्स सेमन तुमको पुश करचंती रिपीटेडली कहउचंती यू विल बी अ गुड ऑफिसर यू आर हार्ड वर्किंग you will be better in your career you will excel so what will happen it will influence your behavior तमे एमिति करबो तमे कोन हबो तमे हार्ड वर्किंग हबो तमे चेष्टा करबो हमर एक्सपेक्टेशंस को फुलफिल करबा पाई as a result what will happen you will conform with our belief so this is what self fulfilling prophecy is तो जेंती एठी जर्क माने होची मूर्ख लोक तो ताकू कहला why are you acting like a jerk he accepted that he is a jerk he behaved in a way that he was called as a jerk so basically this is what self fulfilling prophecy means clear तो एबे पर्यंत किछि डाउट रहला कि तापर हमें जिमा रेफरेंस ग्रुप किछि डाउट रहला काहू
No, ma'am.
रोनित रमन रिट्रीट प्रिजुडिस को कॉन्टेक्स्ट रे कहूजा हेलो
ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ରେପ୍ ଆଉ ମର୍ଡର କଥା କହିଲେ ସେତେବେଳେ ସେ ରିଟ୍ରିଜିମ୍ ଟାକୁ ମାନେ
ଆଉ
କହିଥିଲେ
प्रिजुडिस टा
ଏଟା ଇତାର ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ ଆସିଛି
okay okay fine so any more doubt shall we proceed with reference group हम proceed करिबा yes or no
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
so reference group the word itself says you're referring to someone or a group a reference group is one which you always refer in order to evaluate your achievements your role performance your aspiration and ambition it is only a reference group that tells you whether you are right or wrong whether whatever you are doing good or bad so one might say that the membership groups to which you belong are the reference group best example now you are members of a group which I'll call aspirants तोमर रेफरेंस ग्रुप टा किए हिथिबो तमे काहाकू यू आर कंसीडरिंग एज योर रोल मॉडल्स you are civil service aspirants so who are your role models your main reference group
So officers, ma'am.
obviously OS IAS officers they are your main reference group and OTs officer trainees they are your reference group you aspire them you want to become like them you are evaluating your achievements you're evaluating yourself you are trying to modify yourself so as to achieve the position where they are now you're looking them as a role model and it is a very relevant concept you can easily relate to the concept of reference group आउ किछ concept माने कोइ परबो example reference group रो कोन आइथिबो
मैम गोटे
Good as-
aspiring sportsman माने फॉर एग्जांपल मु एबे स्टार्ट करले क्रिकेट खेलिबा तो मोर रेफरेंस ग्रुप एबे जो माने इंटरनेशनल खेलचंती किंबा रणजी खेलचंती से माने
correct absolutely correct so your reference group is someone you want to become like you want to achieve what they have right now that is your reference group someone that you look up to and reference group can also be your family mainly consists of your primary reference group you look up to your father you look up to your mother you look up to your grandparents you look up to their values how they have evolved how they have grown how they have progressed in their careers in their life you look up to them as well or not you seek guidance from them yes or not so they also family also act as your primary reference group now the problem does not however end here life is more complex even non-membership groups the groups to which you do not belong may act like your reference groups for example कि एग्जांपल दे पारिबो जोठी तम मेंबरशिप नहीं एबे तमे एस्पिरेंट्स हलो तो तमरो मेन जो होचंती रेफरेंस ग्रुप योर सिविल सर्विस ऑफिसर्स now other than that some kind of group which you do not aspire to be the members of it but you look up to them you refer to them
मैडम एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम ही परिबे कि आमे तो तांकर माने रोल मॉडल हिसाब रे तांको बहुत छुआ देखंती किंतु सी जेमति तांकर लाइफ रे पॉलिटिशियन थिले कि तांकर साइंटिस्ट थिले सेमति हेई भी न पारे किंतु तांकर जो स्ट्रगल पाथटा देइना जाइतिले सेटा बहुत छुआ माने फॉलो करती
गुड इडा हला तमरो एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम हेले तमरो इंडिविजुअल रेफरेंस ग्रुप इंडिविजुअल रेफरेंस तमर रोल मॉडल ग्रुप हिसाब रे देखिबो फॉर एग्जांपल तमे स्पोर्ट्स रे बेसी इंटरेस्ट रखुचो क्रिकेट रे बेसी इंटरेस्ट रखुचो बट दैट इज नॉट अ करियर दैट यू वांट टू परस्यू बट यू आर रियली इंस्पायर्ड बाय द टीम वर्क द कंपेनियनशिप द हार्ड वर्क ऑफ द cricket players they are your non-membership groups you do not want to be like them you do not want to achieve what they have achieved in the sense of your career in the context of your career but you aspire their values you aspire certain qualities of them yes so they are non-membership group non-membership reference group now Merton speaks of three characteristics of a group and group membership. The first one is an objective criterion, the frequency of interaction. तो गोटे रेफरेंस ग्रुप को केंती तमे आइडेंटिफाई करि पारिबो केंती सेटा तमे जानि पारिबो तमे बिलोंग करूछो कि नहीं तो सेटिफाई तम फर्स्ट होची that there is frequent interaction between the people belonging to that group for example aspirants एबे तमे माने सबे गोटे गोटे एस्पिरेंट्स तमे इंटरैक्ट करूचो निजो भितरे तमे जानुचो एज अ एस्पिरेंट व्हाट इज योर डेली शेड्यूल व्हाट इज योर लाइफस्टाइल what situation and hardships that you are facing so you are able to relate to one another you are interacting with each other so that is one criteria another one is interacting with the persons define themselves as members in other words they feel that they have patterned experiences or forms interaction which are normally binding on them and on the other members गोटे इंटरैक्शन हला आ बाइंडिंग बाय देम इटा मु इजीली पहुचे तमे केंती जानिबो गोटे एस्पिरेंट्स को केंती आइडेंटिफाई करिवो से गोटे लक्ष्मीकांत बही धरथिबो लक्ष्मीकांत क्वालिटी बही धरथिबो 25-26 वर्ष एज रे एनसीईआरटी पढुथिबो क्लास 9th क्लास 10th रो एनसीईआरटी पढुथिबो so you can easily tell that he is an UPSC or an OPSC or civil service aspirant And the third criteria is the person in interaction are defined by others as belonging to the group. These include others fellow members as well as non-members. जेमती कि मु कहली तमे केंती देखले जानिबो कि से एस्पिरेंट कि नहीं बुझिलो
आउथर से सेकंड क्राइटेरिया और थर्ड क्राइटेरिया आउथर बुझांदो मैम बुझायलानी
फर्स्ट क्राइटेरिया होची तमर इंटरैक्शन फर्स्ट क्राइटेरिया तमे इंटरैक्ट करूथबो तम ग्रुप भितरे सेकंड क्राइटेरिया यू विल अडैप्ट टू सर्टेन expectations that you need to fulfill as the member of that group. For example, you have as an aspirant you have to follow a tedious schedule. You have to follow a schedule. You have to study for these many hours. You have to follow certain resources. You have to prioritize and as well as balance your study and your personal life. That is the expectation that is usually with an aspirant on the member of that group. Third one is how people identify that they belong to that group. Members as well as the non-members. एबे members केंती एबे members माने तम सांग भितरे एबे हम क्लास भितरे जो माने भी अछंती स्टूडेंट्स से माने जानो जंती तमे ऑप्शनल नलो तमे लक्ष्मीकांत पढलो तमे एनसीईआरटी पढुचो माने तमे आ दिन को 8 घंटा पढलो माने तमे गोटे एस्पिरेंट होचो सेंती तम फैमिली देखिले जानिबे सब बळे यूपीएससी रो सिलेबस टे रहिला ता पाखरे से करंट अफेयर्स न्यूज बेसी फॉलो करी लागिला जेबे कि आगु से के फॉलो कर नथिला करंट अफेयर्स विषय किसी जानिबार इंटरेस्ट माने जाना पड़ले कि तमे यूपीएससी लाइन सिविल सर्विसेज लाइन आडू गलो से द्वारा तुमको आइडेंटिफाई करि पाले तुम गोटे एस्पिरेंट तमे डे टू डे लाइफ रे भी जानि पड़थबो तमे किछि तम फ्रेंड्स हैला कि तम टीचर्स हैले या फिर योर कॉलीग्स इन जनरल किछि पढुथबो कि कोन करथबो से मन देखि कहबे तमे यूपीएससी पय प्रिपेयर करूछो कि certain qualities you have they'll identify you got it
माने मैम थर्ड टा ले कि अदर केमिति हमको परसीव करचंती हमें से ग्रुप रे मेंबर की नहीं सेटा तो
हां सेटा others plus as well as your group members aspirants माने तुम अन्य aspirants माने जानि पारचंती कि नहीं आइडेंटिफाई करि पारचंती कि नहीं कि तमे भी गुटे यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट कि ओपीएससी एस्पिरेंट और other than those aspirants जानि पारचंती कि नहीं that you are also an aspirant got it
yes ma'am
both members माने होचंती तमारे aspirant and non members as well here non members भी जंती जानि पारथुबे तो एंती कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स रहुची क्राइटेरिया रहुची तीनटा क्राइटेरिया हला now जंती या पूर्वरु जणे एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम विषय कहले APJ Abdul Kalam is a role model for many individuals in India. So he is not really a reference group, but he is a reference individual. There are certain people you come across who you might not want to be like them, or you might not follow the career path they have followed, but you really aspire the human being that they are, certain qualities, certain values, the charisma that they have. Here I have taken the example of Shahrukh Khan and Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, or whatever your aspirations are, your role models are. There are people you look up to. It may be your parents, it may be your father, it may be your mother, it may be your teacher. There are certain people who you really are drawn towards, their qualities that you want to acquire, that you want to be like them. That is not necessarily related to your group that you are presently. For example, you are an aspirant. The goals of Virat Kohli might not be relevant to the goals of you as an aspirant is, but the qualities of Virat Kohli, like he's hardworking, he is disciplined, he is consistent. This may help you as an aspirant. So you want to acquire those qualities. You look them as an aspiration. Got it? Now, this reference group can have negative and positive influence. So there is a positive reference group and there is a negative reference group. Suppose your father is an industrialist owning a factory Naturally, as far as the workers in the factory are concerned, you are non-member, you do not belong to their group. So what you consider in that sense, you are deeply sensitive, you have red marks, and you tend to believe seriously that it is working class that alone can create a new world free of injustice and exploitation. So if you are inspired by Marx, what you will believe that working class can remove all the injustice and you will work for their upliftment. So it is giving a positive influence. The reference group is giving a positive influence. For example, if you are referring to group of IS officers, you will want to develop yourself, you will want to enrich your knowledge, you will want your personal growth. So it is that group of people is giving a positive response. Whereas if there is a negative group, for example, group of druggists, if you are influenced by them or your negative peer pressure comes into play here, negative reference group, negative peer pressure. If your friend circle has friends who are druggists, smokers, you will get influenced by them and you will get deviated from your original goal. Got it? Positive reference group और negative reference group difference बुझी पारलो? Positive टा होची जो reference group तुमको positively impact करे, तुम्हारो growth करिबा को help करले, तुम्हारो upliftment करिबा को help करले. Negative reference group जोड़ा तुम्हारो downfall करिबा को influence करले, या फिर they are cause behind your downfall. Got it? Got it? Now, एठी गोटे relative concept, last concept टा होची anticipatory socialization. जोटी मु एठी include करिनी anticipatory socialization. Anticipatory socialization माने कोन? जो ग्रुप टा तमे एस्पायर करूछ, तम रेफरेंस ग्रुप रे तमे इंक्लूड हेबा पूर्वरु तमे सेंती बिहेव करी लागिलो. For example, now as an aspirant, it is always asked, always advised, tame always tame e jinso advice ru tame eta you will be coming across कि तुमको कहा जाउथुबा have a officer like quality, be calm, be disciplined, be persistent. एटा कहा जाय कि नहीं, have officer like qualities. तो तमे कोन करछो, एमिति हिसाब रे बिहेव करूछो जेंति तमर जो रेफरेंस ग्रुप टा अछंती, your IS officers, your OS officers, how they are behaving in a very noble way, in a very gentle way. You are calm, you try to be calm, you try to be disciplined, you try to be very rational with your decisions. So you acquire the qualities that your reference groups are having. Bujilo? Why? One, for adjusting. Adjusting केंती, आज तुम एस्पिरेंट अच्छो, काली एग्जाम क्लियर करलो, तुम ऑफिसर ही गलो, तो तुमर क्वालिटीज जदे आग्रो अच्छी, बले तुम इजीली एडजस्ट करि पारिबो से ऑफिसर लाइक एनवायरनमेंट रे. जो तुम एनवायरनमेंट रे जाउचो, इजीली तुम एडजस्ट करि पारबो. सेकेंडली, you will be easily identified and you can be easily accepted. एबे इंटरव्यू रे गले तमरो बॉडी लैंग्वेज हला, तमरो स्पीकिंग क्वालिटीज हला. If it is like an officer, then they will be very attracted towards you. They will usually more inclined towards you. Your acceptability increase, which is why it is said from now try to have this officer like qualities. है कि नहीं? तो तुम्हारा acceptability बढ़िबो now and also after once you are in that reference group. थोड़े ऑफिसर ही गलो तो तुमर पर्सनालिटी टा देखि कि तुम जो क्लर्क्स रहबे तुमर अंडर रे जे काम करूचंती से माने देखि कि तुमको बहुत एक्सेप्ट करिवे. अच्छा तार क्वालिटी टा अछि, he is behaving like a gentleman or he is behaving like a or she is behaving like a dynamic lady. She has that qualities. They will accept you, they will acknowledge you. So this is what anticipatory socialization means. So this was basically it. The concept of reference group, the concept of deviance, conformity. Any doubts? किछि doubts रहला? तुमको notes टा मिली जिवो in details. सब जहाँ भी आज concept discussion करजु. I hope that you can easily understand. Other than that, any doubts that you have regarding what we have studied today? Any doubts, guys?
No, ma'am.
Conformity रे, reference group रे, या फिर types of adaptation जहाँ हमें पढ़ लूँ, या किसी doubt रहेला?
No, ma'am.
Labeling theory टा पढ़ली, anticipatory socialization पढ़ली. I hope you understood those concepts. Example
Yes,
माने
ma'am.
टिके बहुत से बुझी पारिलो जहाँ मु देली. आउ मु hope करूँ कि तमें निजे भी examples माने देई पारिबो. You can come up with your own examples with regards to reference group or with regards to various concepts that we have studied in strain theory or conformity and deviance given by Robert K. Merton. So I hope in today's class, the most concept that we studied, you were able to relate with the present society and with your own life as well, especially the reference group part.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
कागु किछि डाउट रहला माने कह नहले विल end the class. No, right? So, sir, आपण अछंती sir? Hello? Hello? Hello, sir? Sir? Okay, I think sir is not there or what. So guys, it was very pleasant. It was very heartwarming to interact with you. And I was so happy to know that you are so engaging and so cooperative. It was my first class and I really enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed as well. I hope you understood. I was able to make you understand the various concepts. And I hope the class was helpful for you. So,
Yes, ma'am.
आमे leave करिबा.
Yes,
मैम
ma'am.
थरे सर को कॉल कर दियंतु लाइक रिकॉर्डिंग जदी कैंसिल हे जो कोन हबो तो थरे आपण कॉल कर दियंतु बेटर